You have Kindle Unlimited. You can get it for free on Kindle. You can buy it on Kindle. I think it's $2.99, and now you can get it in paperback. And I will tell you that you can start, if you just want to see how vampires have sex, you can start in chapter 23. You miss sort of the lead up, and you're going to have to go back and read that. But if you just want to see where it's headed, chapter 23 is where things get incredibly juicy. I'm not sure if Henry's read that yet. I will tell you that my steady in my life, he went directly to that chapter just to check it out and see what I was writing about. And I don't know if you've written a book, if you're thinking about writing a book, but if you are and you want a sex scene in there, I can tell you got to be in the right mood. And, I don't know, you might be after this show, especially because this show will be followed by Henry's smooth jazz, and you could just stay in that kind of groove for a while. Wherever you are in the world, if you've been listening to the news, put that down just for a little bit and let's have some fun. Well, I know that things in the world have been uber crazy for just way too long, but that doesn't mean they're going to stay there. And for about an hour here, let's just be humans. Let's just laugh at ourselves a little bit. And once we are all set up everywhere, which we're working on, you will be able to chat with us live on Facebook and on the text. And again, the number 720-386-0513. So while he's doing that, I'm just going to start us with thinking about dating. We'll move into the juicy stuff a little later, but how many of you are out there in the dating pool and wondering if there's enough chlorine in it to keep you safe? Anyone out there? Let me know. I'm sure some of you are. It can be kind of crazy. And I know I've talked about dating on this show before when I was doing some online dating and just some of the stories. And in fact, I'll tell you, my neighbors, we would get together during COVID and sit outside and update each other. And some of this was pre-COVID, of course, and I would give them stories about these dates pre-COVID, and they got upset when I actually got into a relationship because the stories were so good, and then they were going to be over. I think I've mentioned a few, and you might think back, what was kind of the creepiest blind date, first date, online date you had? And I could probably top that for you. What made you feel like, yeah, I can do this again? And what made you go home and think, I'm just going to get 3 dogs? Dogs are good. Dogs are really good companions, or maybe cats, or maybe a parakeet, but not the opposite sex, or maybe not even someone of the same sex. Anyone in the dating, right, in that whole dating world. I know it's very, very bizarre. So where are you? What happened with that? How are we doing, Henry? Are we getting there? We're getting there, because I really want to hear from you. We would love some of your questions today and just your comments. Okay, it looks like we are actually, this is very cool. One of the things about this show, I have to tell you, is you see yourself. And I am she of wild hair, and no matter what I do, that's who I am. I have had this wild hair my whole life. I'm hoping by the next time I see you, I'll have some more blue in it, and that often was a good indication on a date if I walked in with these blue stripes in my hair. I never had anyone turn away when they saw me. Just not show. I did have, I don't know what this is. Henry, you'll have to at some point answer. I had guys who told me where to meet them, and then they'd get lost on the way there and text me and say, I'm lost. I'm like, I can be lost. You picked the place. I had one guy who said, oh, I want to meet you at this great place. It's this little wine bar. Okay, I was there. He was late. I ordered a glass of wine. He was still late. He texted me. He finally found it. He came in and he ordered a glass of water. And I'm like, well, don't you want a glass of wine? And he said, I don't drink wine. Okay, wait, you had me come to a wine bar. I ordered a glass of wine. You got lost on the way here. You didn't even know where it was, and you don't drink wine. This is not going to go well at all. Which it didn't. That was the last. It was the first and the last, right? That wasn't as creepy as the guy, though, I'll tell you, who met me at a place. He picked the place. He was late. I was there. He started talking to me about just lots of stuff. But he at one point asked if he could feel my hands, which was a little creepy, but okay. And I said, sure. And he took my hand and sort of stroked the inside of my palm. And he said, I need to know if your hands are soft, because when we have sex, if you're going to be rubbing your hands all over my body, I need to know if your hands are soft enough to be on me. Now, I have known this man for 45 minutes. He was late getting to the place that he picked. He was lost on the road. He told me that the whole rest of the story is, he needed to leave town and needed to be on the road, and he just needed a girlfriend, obviously for sex, for a short time.
This is not the way you start out a sex relationship show.
Well, you were busy.
I was
started
busy
talking about
listening
dating.
to you about dating. I mean, it could be a little more exciting than that.
Okay,
Let's get
all right,
okay,
I know, but now you're here. Now
it's like
now
I
we talk,
just
so,
had.
all right.
I mean, it seemed like it took me a long time, but back there it only takes 8 minutes.
I know, but look.
It was only 8 minutes.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah.
that normal, right? For a guy,
No,
8 minutes.
they're called the 2-minute guys.
There are
Yeah.
2-minute guys.
Yes, then there's the other ones that are
Yes.
10 minutes. Then you've got the hour men.
Really?
Yes, and then you've got the real troopers. Those are the ones that the women look for.
Those are the ones that are taking medicine.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. And I'll bet you any money. No. Those are the ones that stay in very good physical condition.
Mm-hmm.
They don't drink, they don't smoke or nothing, and they know what relationships are all about.
Sex?
No, not just
They're
sex.
all about sex? Long sex?
Long
sex?
well, no, it could be sex. I mean, we're going to talk about relationships
We're
first.
gonna talk about relationships
How
first.
to woe a woman, vice versa, how a woman woes a man. Now, what would you say how a woman woes a man? How does
Whoa? Whoa? No, woo.
I like whoa.
Whoa is sad.
Whoa, whoa.
Stop. How do I stop you?
You
Yes.
got that? How do I stop you from walking past me so I can talk to you? How does a woman do that?
She plays with her hair if she has long
That's
hair.
the old standard.
It works.
Yeah, that's
It does work,
that's the old
right?
standard one. Mhm.
She
Yeah,
looks at
yeah.
the guy,
Yeah.
kind of glances away,
Yeah,
and looks back,
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
out of the side
And that's
of
it.
her
But how does she
eyes.
get to bring them in?
Women are seductive by nature. She doesn't go after them.
She has sex with him with her eyes.
Yes.
She more or less just has sex right there with his soul.
Well, if he's worth it.
If he's worth it?
If he's worth it.
How can you tell?
Well, that's like the first piece.
Okay, so what do you look at? Do you look at the shape of their face, their smile, their eyes, their broad shoulders, or do you look down at
No, I don't.
their shoes to see if they're shining?
They shine.
You went somewhere before I was there. Come on.
You know why? Because men go there. Men walk around hanging onto their penis like they need to make sure it's still in place.
Well, it's true because some have the little Vienna sausages, and they got to make sure it's still there.
I know. Well, where could you leave it? Is it like attached with Velcro? I don't
Yes,
understand
it
this.
is.
Every man, you watch them. They walk out of the bathroom and they reach down and check and make sure it's still
No,
there.
no, that's
Yes.
not it. No, you know what
No,
it is? It's
what?
adjustment.
This is bad design. Can
It's
I
like,
just
I
say
know
this?
bad design. Women do that all the time. They're always going like this.
Not usually in public.
I know, but they do that.
Well, in private.
I've
men
seen
do
them
this
go,
in
I've seen
public.
them reach down and pull up their things. I've seen it all. Now, relationships. Back to the
We're
relationships.
not going to talk about penises?
No, we're
Penis
gonna go to the,
We're
that's
gonna-
gonna be sex.
Later. We're gonna go
Penis
later, okay.
adjustments.
Okay,
Okay, so check it out.
what?
This is interesting.
Okay,
So you say you play with your hair, you do all that kind of thing. What's wrong
Right.
with just going right up to them and say, hey, I really would like to get to know you better?
men think that means I'd like to have sex with you.
What men are you dating?
Well, I'm dating.
No, you gotta
probably-
go to the romantic type of man that say, Mademoiselle, you have a very divine facial smile or something
Why
like
are
that.
you trying for a French accent when you could do Spanish?
Wait, I'm not there. I'm going
Right.
over it all.
Okay.
Let's not mess up my. Okay, look at. I was going real good on your show. It was flowing
Right, it
so
was
nice,
flowing, and then I
because of the
screwed it
Dr.
up.
Elisa show, you might mean the Dr. Bill. He right away dissects it, takes it apart, and won't even let me flow.
Okay, let's flow. Let's go
Okay,
back.
okay,
We're-
let's go.
Relationships.
Dial back. Okay,
Okay.
relationships. How do you
Relationships.
approach a man? Not after his penis age. What do you got there?
I don't do that.
Well, what if he has?
I actually wait And
You
why?
woo him.
I woo them to approach me.
Now, what if they don't? Can't a woman approach a man?
Absolutely.
What is your best angle?
To approach a man? It depends where I am and what's happening.
Well, let's create a scenario, Dr. Elisa.
So I've taken myself out for a drink somewhere by myself, and I'm at the bar, and then I always park myself at the end of the bar
Right.
so that I can have my back up against like a wall and
Right.
look, kind of survey the room. I make sure I have a glass of wine, so it's something I can caress
Ooh.
and
And is it a
twirl.
small one of those
It's
real
one- it-
small, tall ones?
And I like
So
the
you can go like this with the
I like-
tiny
No, I
pills so
don't
the
do
tiny
that.
guys
I
can
don't
see
do
you?
that. No. I just
It's
do
a
the
great
top.
big fat
I
goblet.
like the goblets.
The great big
I love
fat
those. Those are
larger
well, yeah, but
goblets.
it depends on the bar. Obviously,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have whatever glass they
I
have,
can tell
and
you.
I play with it and twirl it, and then sometimes I make sure there's a candle nearby, and I pick it up and I look at the candlelight through the glass, and so I'm not looking around. I'm just acting in a way that is a little
This
bit
pulls in the men.
seductive. It's a little
Now,
interesting.
Let me tell you, I was doing the same thing, kind of. I was on the other end of the bar.
Yes.
I looked down
there-
at the far end of the bar,
yeah,
and
there I am.
well, let's not say it was you, but there's somebody else over there
Right.
sitting. She kept winking at me like this, and I thought, wow, yeah. It was quite a distance.
Right? Was there contact?
Well, no, I went close to her, and she was actually passing out. So.
That's
it is-
not good.
I know that's not good, I'm
Doesn't
telling
actually
you.
work.
She was over there, good, yeah.
Okay,
And
I
I,
know.
and I thought she was winking at me, so that
Obviously.
don't work, so
No,
you can't.
not good.
Yeah, you can't say sit at the end of the bar and those kind of things, because, you know, you never know what might be going
Well,
on.
but what you can do is you can kind of look around.
Wait,
the
there was
room.
another thing. I went and
What?
did the same thing.
What?
Went down there, I went to talk to her, and I got closer.
Mhm.
I found out she was cross-dressing. It was the guy.
Oh my God, was that the guy I dated?
Yes.
One date. I didn't date him. We had
Yeah, you
one
did.
date.
Yeah,
and
you
in the
did.
middle of the
That's
date,
right.
yeah, he let me know he was she, and
He was a-
he's a her. He showed me her Facebook page for when he's a her.
For anybody that's listening, you can text us at 720-386-0513. Start sending in your thoughts, and we'll take a look at them, and we'll have some
Right.
fun with you
And
right
we
now.
can also, you can go to Facebook and go to the Dr. Lisa Show.
And do comments all you
And
want.
just comment. Do you have questions? Like I said, we could do advice. Like Henry's a guy and has experience. I'm a female and I have a PhD and experience, and we would.
Where I've only dated 2 chicks in my life, so I'm not.
Is that
I don't
true?
have that much
Only
experience.
2? You married the second woman you dated?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's
How long have you been married?
46 years going on 47.
Wow.
She wouldn't let go of this good thing. Oh, she hears that. She goes, okay, that cost you large.
Okay, so you've been married. That's a
You
long
may
time.
want to go to the other one. That's
Yeah, I know. I need to.
There's another
We're playing
one.
with technology because
Mhm.
we know you are going to message us, and so there we go.
That one.
Okay.
Nice and clear.
All right, now I got you. So come
So
on.
we could go ahead and send in.
Ask
You
some
can text us,
questions.
yeah. And don't ask her any questions because she's answering them real generalized, real carnal and stuff. Because she was telling me back that I like plain carnal sex.
I did not say that.
You didn't?
No.
What did you say? Now let's get you back. Tell me what you were really saying back there.
You know
to me.
what? I was saying that it's interesting to be the age I am and to have people think I'm too old for sex, except the guy I'm dating who's
There's no such thing as being too old for sex.
well-
The only time you're too old for sex,
is when you're dead.
you're dead.
You're dead, absolutely. When
But
you're
even
dead.
when they bury me, I'm going to have make a kind of a taller coffin. You know what I mean? To go over the
Just the lower half.
Yeah.
Just the lower half.
It's like,
Okay.
those things happen, though, you know? Those things happen.
When you're dead, they happen?
Yeah.
Really?
It happens all the time. You know, it's
Okay.
funny because when you go out trying to find a chick or a chick trying to
Mhm.
find a guy in relationships, it's interesting how it's just sticking a little bit.
Mhm.
And so there's all these variables. There's pickup lines.
Mhm.
There's even bumping into somebody. Say, oh, I remember. No, I don't. I don't remember your name.
Well, that's what I do at big events when I'm
Mhm.
networking,
Mhm.
right? I mean, that's a big trick for trying to, you're in a big room and you're this one person and you're supposed to be networking and working the room, and bumping in and going, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Hey,
Yeah.
don't you work at?
Yes.
And they go, no. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you
I
got a
turn around and say, I do work there.
Yeah, I've done that too.
What do you do there?
Yes.
I'm the janitor. I go into the janitor closet. I'll show you my.
No, don't do that.
No?
Don't go in the janitor closet.
That's the
Show
best
me you
place.
did it. No.
It
It's
is.
there's like mops and things that
Yes.
can fall down.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What?
I
You
had
hear
this-
all this noise and.
I had this great office when I was at one of the colleges I was at,
Mhm.
and as a dean, you can go in and close the door and lock it. You can say, yeah, don't disturb me. And it had this huge window with this really lovely
So what'd you do in there?
view. Nothing super exciting. I used to change clothes in there.
Oh.
Right?
No, right in the window.
Yeah, nobody could see in. It
Yeah,
was
you
far
thought
enough
they couldn't
away,
see you.
But yeah, maybe that's why I'm not a dean there
Yes.
anymore.
So, relationships are really good because, picking up women or picking up girls or picking up, whatever age you're at,
Mhm.
there's a variable. There's, like I would say, 20s to 30s, there's a way. 30s to 40s, there's another way. 40s to 50s, there's another way. Everyone.
I agree.
Now, I know this, that women, I call them queens, okay? They have variables of being a queen. As they get older, they become very, very powerful queens, and they know it. They know
Absolutely.
what they're all about.
Absolutely.
They can
Absolutely.
read men, they know men, they've already,
Absolutely.
dude, I already know what you're all about. Just with those few words you said there. I'm hungry, that
Yeah,
kind
no,
of stuff.
Trust me, it doesn't take much, right?
Right.
Women
Now-
grow in power as we age.
Yes,
Absolutely.
extremely. So,
Absolutely.
I'm
In
very
fact,
careful.
you might want to move back. I might
Okay.
be like a little too much for you.
No, not at all. I'm too much for you. Now, check this out.
That's
Yeah.
never happened,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I know. What happened to Dr. Elise?
Just
And she's smiling. So
live on the air.
Now, you can seduce a woman with words. You can seduce a woman
right.
with your eyes, even with a touch. There's a special way to touch every individual woman, how you go about doing it at different ages. Now, when they're young, they're just, yeah, they don't care. They'll do anything. They'll be on the back of it. They'll do it in the trunk of a car.
I have not done it. What was the most exciting place you ever did?
That's a personal question.
I know.
Where was we gotta rephrase it.
Okay, so where was the most exciting place you've ever made love to a woman?
Made love or had sex?
Well,
There's a variable
there's
here.
that they're absolutely different. Let's go with
Now.
make love.
I would say, let me think, in a tree.
In a tree, really?
Mhm.
Was there a tree house, or was it just like you climbed a tree?
Me in the tree.
Whoa, gymnastics.
And she kept,
Falling out.
no, she kept saying, boy, that's one big branch you have there.
Okay, that's not real.
Well, it sounded good.
It
keeps
sounded
everybody-
good, but no.
It's fun to talk about this
I
kind
know.
of thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
now, what about you?
Probably
Yeah,
the end
yeah,
of a runway, a small airport,
In the jet?
in a truck,
Oh.
watching the planes take off and take
And
off
as the sound
right
came out,
over us. Well, either
You know,
that
so we've
one
seen the
or
plane
actually
crash.
it could have been at that 4th of July celebration that was packed and dark and the fireworks were going off and we
Under
were
the blanket?
Yeah, Yep. Yep. Yeah, it might have been that. I don't know. I'm not sure. That was the best
And
place.
did-
It wasn't necessarily the best
Were the
sex.
fireworks at the...
Throughout the whole thing, but it wasn't necessarily the best sex. It was just sort of the most exciting places.
We were talking about relationships. You're still going back to sex. We're not at sex yet.
Okay, back to relationships. Go back. Okay, and if you're listening, hey, come on, join us. Really,
Yeah, you can text us
please.
at 720-386-0513. Ask us some questions, or you can even try to, if you'd like, and I know they're going to try to
What?
ask us questions.
Ask us questions. Go to the Dr. Lisa Show page on Facebook and post something. You know, it might be just, could you tell us you're listening? That would be really fun.
There's 2 or
How
3 or
about
4
just-
people said, I mean, even Nikki said, they're listening. They're like,
They're listening. You're just like, I know, it's my voice as the doctor.
You think that's what it is?
I think that people get seduced by my voice and
Well,
they're
not mine.
paralyzed.
Now, here's
Yes?
people.
Say that in Spanish. I'm seductive. Say that in Spanish.
No.
Why not? Spanish is so much more seductive than English.
You think so?
I do. And I don't even speak much Spanish, and I think it is. So,
Wow. Now, relationships. Back to relationships.
back to relationships.
Now,
Okay.
what was
Yes.
the youngest and what was the oldest man that you ever dated? How much younger then?
They've usually been in around my age.
Nothing younger.
No, like right around my age. So the oldest man I've ever dated is the guy I'm dating now because
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
old and so is
I'm
he.
old. Well, you're not really old per se. You're old. I would say old is like 85 to 95.
Yeah, I'm not quite there.
And that's
yet.
still, even then, there's some
Yeah,
vibrant women at
absolutely,
that age.
Absolutely. I intend to be vibrant, but so the oldest guy I've ever been with is the guy I'm with now.
Wow.
Because we're about the same age. I've never dated anyone, totally outside my age range. What about you?
Well, I would say
You've
yeah.
only dated two
Two.
women.
Yeah, and the one before her
Yeah.
was much younger.
Okay.
I've dated younger women, of course.
Yo-
No,
younger
you've heard of
woman.
Zetas. You've
Wait,
heard of
no.
Zetas. Yes.
Younger woman. You've had two dates.
Yeah, okay, let's not get too deep into
dates.
Don't